It's Daddy Show. Step off.
It's time for the main event.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this right here is, and I still haven't got it timed right. See how I'm not up on the screen yet? Jeez. This is Tom Clark's main event. We'll get there. Hold on. There we are. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. You know, for like 9 years, this was never a problem. Like ever. Like everything was timed. Everything was beautiful and perfect. Even if I wasn't, the opening was fine. And the minute I start trying to get cute and playing around with it, what happens? Whole thing goes to pot, as they say. Up in flames. Whoosh. Dude. Yeah, in case you hadn't figured out, I tried to work on it today. Because last week, 2 weeks ago, the last time we were here, I listened back to the replay and it was like, I'm like legit yelling over the music. So I'm like, I got to work on this. So I did, and it's still bad. It's not loud anymore, right? But guess what? It's not great because I can't get the timing. It's all the timing. It's all about timing. I'm going to try not to cough in your ear today, kids. Watch this. This moment of silence brought to you by Tom Clark's main event. Guess who has a head cold? This is the third time this year I've had sickness. I've had the COVID twice this calendar year. Never got it when the thing first broke. Never got it through the worst of the outbreak when all those crazy wackadoodles refused to mask up. Remember those clowns? I never got it then either. Now, I don't know if I have it now, but I've got it twice this year, and I got a flipping head cold now. Anyway, look, at the very least, it's Friday. We all made it. You all made it. Congratulations. It was a long week. How was your week, by the way? Do me a favor. Smash the like button if you haven't done it yet. Please and thank you. I greatly appreciate it. You guys know how I roll. I'm always begging and pleading for attention. I'm starved for attention. I'm that little kid in the corner that's just begging for someone to pay attention to him, just to play with him. I just want somebody to play with me. That's all. That's all I've ever really wanted, just somebody to play with me. You know what I mean? So, not with my emotions. That's a terrible thing. But I'm talking about play. You guys ready to play? Man, I'm ready to get into it. We got some cool stuff to talk about here today. Some fun stuff. Apologies for not being here last week. I take zero blame for what happened last week. We had tech issues here at the office. It was not good. In fact, they continued over the weekend, and on Monday we had no internet here, so I was forced to work from home, which I'm not complaining, but my setup here is so much faster than the one I have at home. I got 3 screens in the tower in my podcast rig, and everything's kosher here. Home is fine, but home I got my little MacBook Pro, my little MacBook Air. She's like, she's a 2017. She's working, baby. She's working. You can hear her huffing and puffing, man. When I open it up, boy, she's breathing hard already. You know what I mean? She's out of breath. But she's my little workhorse. She's doing the best she can. I got to buy some more RAM. Not a RAM. Not Mola RAM. Where my Indiana Jones people at? I got to buy more RAM for that MacBook. Elsewise, I won't be doing anything. It's like, what's the old saying? We don't get some gas, we're going to be walking. Right? So if I don't get some gas for that little MacBook, I'm going to be walking. You understand? And I ain't walking. Speaking of walking, I went to the gym this morning. I dragged myself out of bed, even though I didn't want to go because, head cold, right? But I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to go, and all these people can share in my sickness. I'm going to be straight with you. This is actually probably how I got the COVID, and more than likely how I got this cold now is the freaking gym. I'm not going to curse. Smash the like button here for me, kids. Let's say hello to everybody out there in Facebook land. Sugar Shane is in the house. What's going on, dude? Good to see you again, as always. Robbie, what's happening, my friend? Good to see you. Vic, what's good? Good to see you, my friend. Ray All Day is here. Brother, I'm hanging in there. Christopher Sims is here. Love your Facebook profile pic. It is one for the ages. By the way, we reviewed that movie on the 6M podcast. I'm trying to keep myself downplayed today as much as I can, okay? Because, well, you know why. You know why. Think about it. Think about it. You know why. There we go. Because this, what? Hoy, I'm going to mute that so you guys don't have to go through it because, as you know, I do the video portion, the video pod here, and as well as the audio pod. So forgive me for the red eyes. You know, you guys know I'm straight edge. I don't smoke or drink or anything. This is all the head cold. So apologies for not looking as sharp as I could have. Yes, Chris. Thank God it's Friday. I'm all about that. Carlos, what's going on? Oh, the Tom Clark's main event dancers, Ray. Get it straight. Yeah. Those ladies have been practicing. We're talking about practice, man. Not the game. Not a game. Practice. Have I seen the video of Lashley working out, playing the Hurt Business theme music? You know, I got thoughts on that gimmick there, Vic. I don't know how you feel, but Phil and I said, by the way, shout out to Phil Lindsay, my second chair on the 6M podcast. Phil and I have said before, you know, they just basically took the black guys and threw them in a faction together. Look, it's the truth. I'm not trying to downplay how good they are. They're very good. And it's a good faction. But it's like, let's just do that. I'm like, well, okay. You know, coming out of any other company, maybe it wouldn't have made me raise an eyebrow. We don't have to get into it. Sugar Shane says, got my hands full watching my 2-year-old great nephew. Oh, wow. He's bouncing off the walls like Will Ospreay. Mind the ceiling fan there, Shane. Belinda, how are you? Good to see you. Josh, what's going on? Keith. KC. I'm going to call you KC. Uh-oh. KC, all you need the Sunshine Band. Don't nobody sleep on KC and the Sunshine Band, okay? And maybe Disco, but they were a solid band, dude. Ray's here. He knows. He knows. Oh, we're going to talk about MJF here today, Josh. Again, I've got my beverage. I'm going to attempt to keep myself hydrated. If you suddenly don't hear anything, it's because I've muted the mic. All apologies. Okay. I'm just going to power through this here head cold. And I'm going to try to be low key. All right. So I hope that's okay with everybody. Smash the like button for me, kids. I'm going to tell you till the cows come home. They'll be here any second. If you will, that'll mean loads to me. And do me something else, if you will. Share this show on your feed, on your page. That'd mean great things for me. By the way, if you don't follow all of my socials, I'm not charging you a thing. All you got to do is follow. I promise you I'll follow you back. If we're not friends on the Facebook for whatever reason, send me a friend request. Ray, I need to send you my calendar. Look, I'm not playing with you, Ray. We're going to hook something up, I promise. I would say I haven't forgot about you, but I'm lying. It's nothing personal, okay? I just insanely busy. But I don't want to not do it. Does that make sense? I do want to do Luke Cage. The boy's good, Ray. Thank you, my friend. Hoy. All right. He's actually going to Applebee's with a friend and his dad this evening. I'm not eating out, but no. I'm here with you guys. Alan, what's up? Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. All right. Let's get into some stuff here. If you are ready, by the way, this is episode. Oh, I didn't go back over my socials. Let's do that real quick. Follow all of my socials, if you will. My studio is Boink Studios, Boink. The I is stylized actually as an exclamation mark. If you didn't know, now you know. I'm gonna show you a couple things here. If you guys will indulge me, it'd mean loads to me. If you will, check this out. And then we'll get to the wrestling. That's what we're here for. That's what you're here for, isn't it? Oh, just be patient. So there you go. There is Boink Studios on the Twitter machine. You see my kid right there on that screen. Look how small he is. Are you kidding me? Yes, Boink Studios is my recording, and see that right there? This is actually what I'm looking at right now. That's actually my desktop. I needed a banner picture, so I just created it and faded it, whatever, blurred it. So Boink Studios, it is the home of 3 fantastic podcasts, in my humble opinion. The one you're watching and listening to now, Tom Clark's Main Event. Also, Tom Clark's 6M Podcast. This is the 6M Podcast, kids. Movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. Okay? I'm telling you, it's fun stuff. That's the one where Phil Lindsay's with me. And also the Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. This is a Ted Lasso watch along. Well, not watch along, but rewatch. Last night we recorded episodes 5 and 6. There are 10 episodes in season 1. Okay. So we are 6 in the can. As soon as we have all 10 recorded for season 1, I'm going to release season 1. So if you will, follow me. Basically, on all the socials, it's Tom Clark's Main Event, 6M Podcast, and Two Nations Pod. If you will follow all of our socials, and not just I will appreciate it, but Joe Higgins and Jay Luft, my co-hosts, we are the terrible trio from Two Nations Under Ted. Please and thank you. That means loads to me. Shout out to Jay and shout out to Joe. Joe from the Damn It Vince podcast and the Hallmark of Greatness. And Jay, of course, good friend of the show from the Untitled Wrestling Pod. There you go, kids. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about something that's made news recently. We'll get your thoughts on it. Thank you, Ray. Please tell me you're going to subscribe to the show, dude. I think you're really going to dig it, man. I promise you. I promise you. CRP, there's a man I got to record something with. Dude, I've been trying to define your look, and I'm somewhere between, I'm between Rob Zombie and, Jesus. You're okay with that, aren't you? Chris, you know what's great about you, brother? You have a look. You know what I mean? Look at this. Look at this pic, bro. He's got a look. You know what I have? I got nothing. I got this. Look at this. Doesn't get much better than this. And this ain't much to look at. I don't have a look at all, dude. I got nothing. That, CRP, is an effing look, man. Look at that. I got nothing. I'm as bland as they come. I'm pasty white. My name's Tom Clark. Blech. You know what I mean? It's not Christopher Ray Patton. I'm not even messing with you, dude. This is how I truly feel, right? Like plain vanilla. You know what I am? I'm a big honking cone of vanilla ice cream. Hey, vanilla's good, right? Trust me. Hey, man, I'm a pasty white dude, and you may not think I've got any rhythm, but I can play some bass. I notice I didn't say I can master some bass. I said I can play some. Sorry about that. Anyway, I choked myself up. Yeah, for those of you just joining us, Tom's struggling for air. There you go. No, I'm just fighting a little head cold. It's killing me. Killing me. Dress for the job you want. 1980s heel manager. Oh, my God. Or cult leader. 1980s cult leader manager. Dude, listen. I would take that all day. You want to know why? Chris, you look like that every day. So you already know this. But you know what's great about your look? You know how many people you run into judge you before they ever speak to you? I love that. I don't love that they judge you. But I love that once you speak to them, they realize, oh, he's not like a raging cult leader, meth head or something. Do you know what I mean? I love that. I love when people make snap decisions and they're like dead wrong. I don't love it. God, I'm ranting today. I'm on no meds, I promise you. You guys know what I mean by all that, right? Jeez, I'm ranting. Let's get to some stuff. AEW's list. Have you heard the news? It's all over town. If you ain't heard it, boy, you better sit down. I suddenly started quoting some old Bob Seger. I got the story here at top of the press. Brace yourself now, take a deep breath. Grab a hold of something. Hold on tight. Betty Lou's getting out tonight. Betty Sue? Betty Lou's getting out tonight. Wow, where did all that come from? In an effort to protect the health of both wrestlers, fans, and those that work for the company, AEW issued an updated memo to talent earlier this week with a recently updated list of banned moves, as well as those that require prior approval. Here's what's no longer allowed, quote, under any circumstances, end quote, which means don't do it. Unprotected chair shots to the head, cosign. Shots to the back of the head, cosign, which means Mr. Ospreay, no more hidden blade, my friend. Buckle bombs, blind moves backwards in the turnbuckle, cosign. You want to know why I've never been a fan of this? No disrespect to Seth or anyone who does it in any company. I've never been a fan of this because when you can't see where you're landing, that's a problem. Now, I'm not going to sit here and speak for every pro wrestler. That's dumb. It's asinine, and I would never try that. Pardon me. You guys know how I roll. I would never do that, okay? But I will tell you, in my opinion, and I've spoke to wrestlers behind the curtain enough to know, for a lot of guys, when they can't see where they're landing, that's a problem. And it's not that they don't trust the guy that's supposed to be behind them, but a lot of times, if the timing is off, the position is off, you're screwed. You know what I mean? So again, I can co-sign with this one in particular. No more fencing response and seizure cells. Hello, Daniel Bryan. Hello, other people who have done it. I've seen it done in this day and age with, CTE, with the concussion protocol and everything. I just don't think it's a good look. I've never agreed with guys doing this, so I'm actually more than okay with this being banned. No more spitting. Yeah, no more spitting. Go spit in the wind there, buddy. Yeah, freaking Toriano. Wrong company. No more blood in the crowd, which means no bleeding while in the crowd and no throwing bloody gear, tape, or other objects in the crowd. Look, you guys know when Jon Moxley takes a drink of water, he juices. He's got color right off the bat. So this might be tough. No more weapons, projectiles in the crowd. I'm good with that. No more taking drinks or food from guests in the crowd. Can we be honest? Half this list was made possible by our good buddy MJF, who's like, I don't care about your rules. I don't care about them. A pox on your rules, he says. Let's see. Physical contact with the crowd, which means a wrestler holding an opponent and allowing a fan to chop them. Yeah, that should never be done. I've never been a fan of that. You know, when they're near the barricade and fans are allowed to reach over and touch them, I would never allow that to happen. I've been a part of companies before where we made it very clear that none of the talent was to be touched. In other words, you don't touch us, we won't touch you. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, say no more. All right. Now, the ones that need prior authorization. Okay. Here's these moves. There's a bunch of them. Spots and bumps on the ring apron and outside. Ooh, yikes. That's going to eliminate a lot of moves for a lot of guys. Table, ladder, and chair spots in and out of the ring. Only allowed with padding. Good. No more ripping the padding up. That nonsense. It's effective the first time you see it. With Gargano and Ciampa, it was effective. It's not so effective now. My opinion. Okay. All pile driver tombstone variations, including sit-down drivers, inverted poison, hurricane rana, and vertebreakers. Woo. That's taking a lot of stuff off the table, yeah? Intentional bleeding. No blading, in other words. Of any sort. Not just blading. In other words, no hard way. Hear that, Brock Lesnar? I'm not going to read the whole list. You can look it up. There's a bunch of stuff on here. How are we feeling about this? How are we feeling about this? CRP says, no problem with the heel spitting in the baby face as long as they both parties agreed to it. Agreed. Like, Naito's out of a job. I don't know if Naito does this so much now, but you know what I mean, right? Agree with bleeding on folks, though. Absolutely. Robbie said, nothing wrong with vanilla. Oh, he's going back to the ice cream reference. You want to talk pasty white if I wear short? Oh, my God. We won't get into all that. Let's see. CRP also says you want a huge pop. Apparently tease a body slam. It's fun. Tim says, I'm not feeling it. You don't feel the list? Really? Tim, I'm more than okay with this list. There's a lot of hoo-ha nonsense on this list that probably shouldn't have been happening to begin with. Carlos says, too many rules. Why don't you just put on a football jersey with the helmet and wrestle like that? But, you know, it's not just about keeping them safe, Carlos. This company is not what they were 3 years ago. I want us to think about that. They're on the verge of signing a new TV deal, yeah? And look, let's be honest. As this company matures, the level of professionalism will have to mature as well. And you know what that means? No disrespect. And I'm not trying to single anybody out. I love me some Sky Blue. I think she's fantastic. I enjoy watching her. But the days of those booty shorts climbing way up, going north, wait and see. Because if you guys remember, a lot of the ladies did that, including Jamie Hayter. They don't do it anymore. But Sky Blue is like the only one left who still does it. I got a lot of love for Sky. It's no disrespect, and I'm not trying to sound like like some kind of anti-feminist or something. No disrespect intended at all. Okay. But I suspect that dress code will probably be one of the things that at some point will be addressed as well. That's just my guess. Carlos, I sense your frustration, but I wouldn't lose too much sleep over it. I mean, if anybody's watching the show for everything on these lists anyway, weapon usage, chairs, pipes, kendo sticks, hammers, ring bells, bats. Look, they're not going to tell everybody no. They're going to tell some people no, I'll bet you. But they're not going to tell everybody no. They're not going to tell the top guys no. If John wants to hit somebody, like ride in on a horse and like hit them with a, hazard cone, I suspect he'll be allowed to do so. Oh, apologies for the coughing. Apologies for the coughing. Mark, what's up, dude? Mark, you've been here before, haven't you? MJF and Cole, great chemistry, love it. And MJF is gonna. Oh, we're gonna get there. I've got it in the queue for things to cover. Sugar Shane says one thing about keeping the wrestlers and fans safe, but please don't turn the product. Oh, I could not agree with you more. Let's don't overly sanitize it for your protection. Absolutely, I couldn't agree with that more. Ray says, I think the touching room was great. Fans be crazy. 100%. Tim says the only one I'm okay with not touching fans or taking drinks, food, that I'm all right. Yeah. Well, Mark, hey, no worries, man. We weren't even here last week. CRP says I'm fine with most of these things if they actually mean something, if it's a payoff. It's more of a problem because they have so many matches doing the same thing. Read that. Everybody listen. So many matches doing the same thing that it means nothing all the time. There's an old saying in the retail business. If everything's on sale, nothing's on sale. Okay? So always be suspect. When you get a flyer from your local grocery store where everything's on sale, nothing's on sale, brother. They're making their money back somewhere. I promise you. I know. Okay? So really nothing's on sale. So remember that. Everyone, please tell Ashley Tate hello. Ashley, you're looking wonderful. Ashley joined me on the Friends episode of the 6M podcast, and she made an appearance here on the main event. Ashley, so you know, I'm fighting a head cold. It sucks. However, I'm powering through, baby. Look at that. Look, there's nothing there. Look, there's nothing. But you know what? I'm powering through. Look, some guys get the muscles, some guys get the good looks, and some guys get brains. Dude, me, I get the brains, right? Oh, God. Yeah, so there you go. There's your list. There's your list. I had to give a shout out to the Bloodline storyline, which is now in year 5. It's projected there's 5 years left. This thing is never going to run out of gas. And I'm not even being snarky. This thing is never going to run out of gas. This thing's going to stretch till next WrestleMania and beyond, I think. Honestly. I still believe Cody's going to win the belt. I think belts, there's like 5 of them now or something. He'll win them at Mania next year, I believe. And then that will be the decline of Roman Reigns as a heel tribal chief, top banana, big dog, big cheese, big bad, last boss, all that good stuff. Ash, some would argue that they were okay to begin with. Those diehard WWE fans that believe everything Vince and company does is like walking on water, they would tell you there's nothing wrong with this company to begin with. I got to put a green screen behind me. See how everything's like digitizing? I'm like trapped in the Matrix, dude. You know what I mean? There's like body parts disappearing and stuff. Look at that. Yeah. Hey, kids, if you've not smashed the like button, please and thank you. You would make my day. All right? Thank you very much. Montrese, what is up? Great to see you. How's that little girl doing? Montrese has incredibly cute kids, like 2 small kids. Congratulations again. Everyone say hello to Montrese. Thank you. CRP says best wrestling storyline since Vince and Austin. I have a hard time disagreeing with that. I would say the Punk storyline's up there, but I don't know if anybody in that company would say that. Hey, Mark says, love the storyline. Do you reckon the rumor of Rikishi? I think Rikishi will be pulled into it sooner rather than later. Alma, what's going on? Did you say heat index of 119? My God, you're in Tejas, right? Ooh, yikes. Choche Vega, good to see you, dude. Thanks for hanging out, man. Dude, your profile pic is scaring the life out of me. That's a hardcore, don't mess with me, I've had a bad day pic. Hey, man, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you, brother. Ash says, note the Bloodline has made SmackDown must watch. And that's impressive because I was never big on SmackDown. Well, there you go. E says, I'm tardy to the party. No one, E, because all you do is give crap. Thoughts on Jesse the Body running for president. How many times does this make he's tried this or talked about it? Don't get me on politics. We'll be here all day. Kota Ibushi and Pac have officially, in one of the worst kept secrets in the business in like the past week, right? Because you can't keep secrets anymore, right? Oh, they're gonna start calling me Lunger like in Tombstone. I'll be like Doc Holliday, pull this back, and there's gonna be blood in it. Then all y'all are gonna feel bad for me. Then I'll have to like shoot Johnny Ringo by a tree because he's thinking I'm Wyatt Earp. If you don't like Tombstone, there's something wrong with you. You need to go get yourself checked. Understand? Can you believe I've never done Tombstone? Listen. Oh, episode 150 of Tom Clark 6M podcast is coming. It may have to be Tombstone. My God in heaven. That'd be effing wonderful. I would love it. And I'm going to have to make that an event. Anybody that I know that's a huge fan is going to have to come on the show and talk to me about it because I love Tombstone. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. All right, back to it. Blood and Guts. There you go. So, yeah. So we know that Ibushi, Kota Ibushi, madman that he is, and again, Pac. I just love saying his name. Pac looks great, doesn't he? They have officially joined the Blood and Guts match. Looking forward to this. Should be good. Should be great. Hope it will be. So yeah, we're talking about the Golden Elite of the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Kota Ibushi taking on the BCC along with Pac. There you go. Man, I'm looking forward to it. July 19th, kids. It's right around the corner. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. And no, I'm not on their payroll. Be nice. Man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started, Chris, on the quoting. Don't get me started. We will be here all day. Prettiest man I ever saw, right? I love that. I'm telling you right now, you're dealing with a hardcore fan here. That's like debating me on the Beatles or whatnot. Good luck to you, right? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Alma says, I got a feeling the enforcer of the Bloodline will turn on Roman and challenge him for the world belt. Survivor Series. Could very well happen. Well, oh, dude, he's going to be 9th grade. 9th grade. I'm ready to just go jump off a cliff. Ash brings up a good point. This thing about Solo Sikoa. I've had people, Jay from Untitled Wrestling Pod, actually, and Two Nations Under Ted, believes that Sola is being groomed to be a big deal at some point. I just don't know if I personally see it. I think he could get there, but honestly, he hasn't done a whole heck of a lot to make me personally believe that he would be a top guy, and definitely not the guy to beat Roman, but that's just me. Maybe everybody agrees that, oh, well, no, he's the guy. I don't know. I think the match will be good, Ash, to your point. However, man, I'm dying over here. However, I don't know how I feel about it being like, well, he's the guy, right? Yep. Just get in that smoke wagon and get to work. Yeah. I'm telling you. Well, I'm real scared. Right, you are. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I got to stop. We'll never stop. I can't keep going. It's too much. He says August 5th, 22 days away. That is my birthday. Oh, 5th? Oh, there you go. Cash App and Venmo. Well, brother, you can wish in one hand and crap in the other and see which one gets full first. I love that quote. I'm just messing with you. Everybody go buy E a gift. Ash says he will be the one to get Roman, and that will put him way up. Oh, you think so? Wow. Well, I mean, anything could happen, right? Man, y'all are still on this bloodline stuff. Mark says Solo needs a belt, maybe U.S. belt, and then put on Paul, Logan Paul. Is that who you're talking about? Hooey. Let me start on that clown. Montreal says, no, I agree. It's too soon. Yeah, see, I'm kind of that mindset, but hey, what do I know? I could be wrong. Tim says, which members of BCC and the Elite will start the match first? I would say Wheeler Yuta and Pac. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll see. It'd probably be Mox. Mox got a lot of bleeding to do. Pardon me. Chris says we haven't heard Solo enough and the mic to annotate him yet. Anoint him yet. I got you. He hasn't really had much dialogue since NXT. I did like what he was doing there before the call up. Yeah. Ash says, please let the W Gods take the belt off Theory and give it to Solo. Anyone actually? I love Austin Theory, honestly. I watched him in Evolve, like at some shows live, and I always thought he was a really good worker. You know, Austin has become what they want him to become, so he's that guy now. You know, get him outside that company, get him a different gimmick. People would perhaps have a different opinion on him. So, yeah. Anyway, who's looking forward to Blood and Guts, for God's sake? I think it's going to be good. Let's talk about this. Samoa Joe versus CM Punk from Collision this past Saturday night. This, kids, is what they call a banger. This was a really, really good match, okay? And, you know, we all knew it would be. We all knew it would be. Punk and Joe can work in their sleep, kind of like Shawn and Hunter could do back in the day. And this is one of those matches that's always going to work. It's always going to be money. It's always going to draw headlines. It's always going to make for good TV because they're so comfortable in the ring with each other. They have such a history. They challenge each other. I love that Joe took most of this match. I love that Joe was the guy that was in command and in charge. I love that they did the spot where Joe just walks away. These are all really, really good things. And I thought the match itself was really top-notch. I don't know if I would call it one of my personal matches of the year, but it's up there. I mean, I thought it was really, really good, especially for a TV match. That used to be taken as like an insult or whatever, criticism. I don't think you can say that anymore, dude, because honestly, there's a bunch of fantastic matches happening on free TV these days. Not free, but you know what I mean. Chad says, I agree. Chad, too bad. What's up? I agree, Tom. On Theory, keep the belt. Ash says he's as exciting as cabbage. Hey, now, you know, the grilled cabbage, like you get it like a Japanese restaurant. I'm here for that. I've done that at home with some soy sauce. It's fantastic. Boiled cabbage, forget that. What they call down south killed, where I'm at, killed cat. No. Stink your house up and make you regret it for days, and it's disgusting. Montrese says, have you heard about Brian Pillman being at the WWE former? I have. You know what? He's no longer with AEW now. I think, you know, if you're going to end up at a company, you may as well end up at the company that your dad did work in. If that's what he wants to do, good on him. Hopefully they do right by him. Pillman's another guy that I saw live before he ever signed with WWE. I'm sorry, with AEW. when he was working the independent spot shows and also working the MLW. I like him. I don't think he ever got as fair of a shot in AEW as he could have. I think him and Griff Garrison were good. I don't think they were great, and I don't think they were given enough. The tag team, for me personally, didn't work very well together. No disrespect to those guys, but I don't know that I felt it. Now, to be fair, I maybe didn't feel it because of their presentation. This is where Julia Hart started, of course. She was and now she's phenomenal. So it's amazing what a gimmick change will do for you. Tim says my favorite one, Blood and Guts, all pay-per-view matches and non-pay-per-view matches. Okay. Let's see. CRP says expected too much. It was a very good TV match, though. Joe and Punk, yeah, for sure. When is Austin Theory's birthday? Brother, I don't know. Am I supposed to know this? Oh, I love sauerkraut, dude. I love sauerkraut. Are you kidding me? Holy God. Yes, sauerkraut and kielbasa. And also, here's a Southern combination for you. Sauerkraut, pinto beans, and cornbread. And fried potatoes. There is a Southern thing if I've ever ate it. I love sauerkraut, dude. I love it on hot dog, sausage dog as well. Robbie said Don Callis, Chris Jericho have been friends for many years. Seems they're teasing the turn. Who do you think? Do we see Chris Jericho turning face? Honestly, I think we may see the end of the Jericho Appreciation Society here because I think Jericho may turn face. I think he'll ultimately tell Don no. I think Don will stick his dogs on him and turn Jericho face. Dude, look, preach. I had a scone with a cup of coffee this morning and a little bag of chips and a little bag of peanuts for lunch. I'm going to be eating when I get home, I promise you. Oh, got to breathe, baby. Alma, you missed it. We kicked the show off. We kicked the show off with the ban of certain moves. I'm okay with it. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. A lot of the moves on there are ridiculous in theory and in practice. Rick Thibodeau says he has the same birthdays. Oh, there you go. August 2nd. Well done. CRP says Omega is hiding behind the Young Bucks skirts. Yeah, that was a good line, right? What else is going on? Darn it. All in case you didn't know, Will airs a pay-per-view. I don't know how this is a headline. Didn't we all just know this automatically? I mean, I did. How did you not know this? I would have been highly disappointed had it not aired live or aired as a pay-per-view. And by the way, kids, Jay Luft will be at that show. Some of those Untitled Wrestling Pod folks will be there. He kept trying to talk me into or asking me if I was going to come over for it. I would love to travel to across the pond. I don't know where I was going with that. Travel to land of my forefathers. I have no heritage. There's something else that's vanilla about me. You know how some people could trace their roots back to Germany and whatnot, Germany and Ireland and Scotland and, Norway and they're Pennsylvania Dutch or whatever. And it's, they got like family tree goes all kinds of wacky places and awesome places. I got nothing. Right? I got nothing, right? Nothing. Vanilla. I'm not even French vanilla. I'm a big freaking cone of soft serve vanilla. It's delicious, but it's not much to look at. I'm just saying. So yes, just so you know, All In will be a pay-per-view. Yes, absolutely. Discovery does apparently want AEW to go monthly. That'd be 12 pay-per-views a year. And listen, if they cough the money up and there's incentive there for Khan would be crazy not to do it. Let's be honest. However, is that too much? I fear it would maybe be too much. Ash. Dear. I love Rhea Ripley. I don't know what you're talking about. I do. Look, I was the one saying years ago that she should have beat Charlotte way back when all that first happened. Long before this thing with Ray's kid and everything, dude. I've always loved her. I've always thought she was fantastic. I love that she's in the top, like one of the top heel factions in that company. I love it for her. I think and look, they didn't hand her anything, dude. She earned it and she deserves it. It's so weird for me to say the word deserve when it comes to pro wrestling, because what do you really deserve? Does that sound weird? I do believe that talents earn their spots. When I hear the word deserve, and when I said it, it came out of my mouth, it felt weird. This idea that you deserve something. I don't know if talent, I don't know. I think it's based on the talent. It's funny what you'll get from wrestlers when you talk to them one-on-one. Like titles and standing in the company and everything. Like Rob Van Dam didn't care about any of that. He just wanted to get paid. It was just payday for him. That's what he told me. And I'm like, you know what? I was okay with that. It gave me a different perspective, because his fans will always go, this guy's worried about his spot and he's worried about is he a champion? Rob never cared about that. It is a business. We all call it a business, and then we get upset when guys want to get paid. Isn't that weird how that works? Sugar Shane says Corey Graves on Raw had the quote of the year, who graduated only to walk down the aisle to Macho Man's theme song. I was thinking about when I graduated. Yeah. Oh, I did too. Trust me. Can we give the Alpha Academy some love? Yeah. Yeah. Chad Gable's great, dude. Ash is right. She is a beast in the total package. She's not Lex Luger. She know Lex Luger, Ashley. Lex Luger's a pretty man. No, I get it. I was just going with the nickname. Hold on. Thank God for the mute button. Tim says, just imagine if Tony Khan invited the Beatles performing All In. That would be amazing. Well, bro, there's no Beatles left. There's Paul and Ringo. That's it. The Toodles. That doesn't make any sense. It'd be cool if you saw Paul McCartney in the crowd. Hey, I don't think Paul even lives in England anymore. Doesn't he live in LA or something? I think. Maybe I'm wrong. One more before we take it home, kids. MJF and Adam Cole. Some of you guys have already been talking about it. This is the thing with Roddy backstage where he's questioning Adam about what's going on, and Adam looks like he's buddy with MJF. In my opinion, what's going to happen in this tag match? Here's what I believe. What's going to happen in this tag match? All right, is that the moment's going to come when they could win, and MJF's going to get out the ring and going to try to screw over Cole, and Cole catches him with a smile on his face and says, "Nope, I was ready for you." And it's going to come out that Cole baited him in and lured him into a false sense of security. So then when the time came for him to betray Cole, Cole was ready for it. Cole's a great heel. Why would Cole, who was an ex-fantastic heel, ever fall for this guy and his lies? They're just building up, and I think they're building up to the AEW World Championship match at All In. That's what I believe. Jason Heller says, is Ronda Rousey going back to UFC? That's the rumor. Well, the rumor is she's leaving WWE. It's her last run. Well, there you go, kids. There is your show. Let's open the floor. Ray, you're up. We all patiently await. Ray. Sugar Shane says, my thoughts on Nick Wayne. I got thoughts. I ran this by Jay and Joe after the Two Nations pod last night recording. And here's my thoughts. This kid's been wrestling since he was 9. I get it. Okay. And younger, whatever it was. Do I believe he deserved that spot, a spot that high on the card against Swerve Strickland? And he gave Swerve a run for his money, and he kept turning around and showboating to the crowd and all this other stuff. You got to keep in mind, a lot of this is storyline. A lot of this is character work. Phil had a great point when he said this wasn't about Nick Wayne. This was about getting Swerve and Darby back in the ring together again, which I firmly agree with. All right. So pretty sure that's what's happening. But what do I think about Nick Wayne? I think he's got a future. I think he's very good. I've seen him before. I think he's very good. I think time will tell in that company I think time will tell. I'm trying to reserve judgment. I don't want to sit here and say, he's a future world champion. And I also don't want to sit here and say, oh, he's a punk. I'm not, because I don't think either one of those things. I think the sky's the limit for him. I think he's in the right company. I do not believe WWE would have been a good fit for him. No way, no chance, no how. Okay, it's the truth. They would have buried him in NXT with a terrible name, and they would have treated him like a high schooler. That's basically what he is. He's 18. I'm just calling it like I see it. They would never have given him this opportunity. Okay, I don't believe. So we'll see how AEW handles him, what they do moving forward. I wish him the best, and I hope it works out. I hope we got another megastar on our hands. I like when stars are created outside the other company. That's just me. Again, kids, if anybody's got a problem with AEW or New Japan or Impact or GCW or whatever, you have issues. Well, we have to have variety. WWE cannot be the only game in town. They're on an all-time high. They're crushing it. Dude, good for them. Good for them. Good for their locker room. I don't care for the people that run it. Not good for them. Let's be straight. But good for the talent. Good for the crew. Good for everybody from the cameramen to the guys that put the ring together to the talent in the locker room. Good for the crew, dude. For real. No joke. But we have to have more than that. We can't just have that. We had just that for years, and it was not fun. It was not fun. If anybody doesn't remember, let me know. We'll have a conversation, man. I'll tell you how freaking lame it was. Ash says, why is LA Knight so over? I don't get it. LA Knight has paid his dues. LA Knight's 53 now, so he's getting up there. I'm just kidding. He's great. People are suckers for a good catchphrase, especially in that company. And he's been there for a while now. It hadn't been 10 minutes since he's been there. He's been capable. He was doing this on the independent circuit with his name, Eli Drake. He was doing this kind of shtick before. His gear looks like The Rock. He sounds like The Rock. He carries himself like The Rock. Everybody's going, this guy's The Rock. He was doing this stuff when he was Eli Drake. I don't know what we're talking about here. Nobody cared about it. Nobody accused him of that then. But because he's in that company, he's The Rock. No, he's not. Shut up. You know what I mean? I hate that stuff. I get what you're saying, though. He's not some people's cup of tea. I understand. But I hope they're building something for him. Do you want to know why? Because variety. The Roman cannot keep that belt forever. He just can't. Process elimination. He's going to get sick. He's going to break a leg. They're going to have different creative plans. He could get ticked off and walk out. Listen, don't tell me none of this stuff could happen because you're all crazy if you think it can't. Anything can happen. Your company cannot be Roman and Brock, 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 Roman and Brock. You know, it just can't. At some point, guys are getting older. Hey, look, I have sung Brock Lesnar's praises more than one time on this show and Roman. It's no disrespect to them. All right. But like back in the day, John and Randy, John and Randy, John and Randy, John and Randy, every week, John and Randy, John and, you know, eventually at some point, you got to have other guys. You got to have variety. You got to have threats, legitimate title threats. And when you don't have that, it's boring. Before the bloodline thing started, who believed Roman Reigns was the greatest thing on that show? His fans, not the world at large. And now the world at large thinks, oh my God, he's very good at what he does. And this storyline has elevated him to no end. That all this is true, okay? But again, I tell you, you have to have more than two. You just have to. Ray All Day, here we go. De La Soul or Lost Boys? De La Soul. Part 2, Lil Wayne or Redman? Ooh, that's tough. I'll go Redman. If Adam Cole invited you and your family to an exclusive comic book show with exclusive copies of Marvel stuff and tasty hot fresh butter popcorn and said you could bring a friend, can I come? Yes. And later wanted to get salmon and salad and corn and corn airs plus ice cream with rainbow sprinkles and a cookie. Oh, that's so much. Yes, Ray. You can have all the food and go to all the places. Dude, yes. All right, Robbie, here we go. Now to this week's Who's the Right. Don't nobody ruin this for me. Alan Coog? I don't know. Steve Lombardi's a Brooklyn Brawler. AC Connor? AC, I don't know. Brother, you got me on 1 and 3. CRP says they did all that build up and had him lose his first match. Yeah, Nick Wayne had no business beating Swerve Strickland on live TV in AEW because, in my opinion, you have built Swerve up to be a guy, not the guy, but a guy. Nick Wayne's nobody. No disrespect. I think Nick Wayne would probably agree with you. He's nobody. Now, talk to me in 6 months. He won't be nobody anymore, right? But right now, he's nobody. No disrespect. So, like, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, they built him up. But at the same time, Swerve should have won that match. It was the right move. I saw a lot, not that you did this, I saw a lot of people losing a lot of sleep over that. I can't believe. What? Like when he almost won the match, I cringed. I'm like, no, this shouldn't happen. He shouldn't win the match, dude. But again, it's all subjective, right? It's all subjective. Tim says, how about FTR versus Bullet Club Gold? So good. So good, man. Right? I love Bullet Club Gold with the guns. They are great. They are great. So good. Ash says, don't get me started on the kind of the king of cabbage. Brock. My God, hate for Brock Lesnar. Brock's just doing his job. Leo's an Impact now. I think Leo Rush's run in Japan with the Best of Super Juniors was great. I was disappointed he didn't win. I had like 4 guys picked to win that. Him and Dan Maloney and Takahashi and somebody else. I forget who now. He did great. He was really, really good. Do I have a favorite? Thank God it's Friday show. This one. Hey, what else I'm going to say? Sugar Shane says, with the writers and actors on strike, will that affect wrestling? I don't think so. Don't quote me, but I don't think so. Because it's not, I don't know if writers in WWE belong to the Writers Guild. I'm not sure how that works. Excellent question, by the way, Shane. Really good question. But I don't know the answer to that. I suspect not. And even if it did, I mean, you've got veterans backstage. Triple H is sitting right there. I mean, they could, you just pivot. You pivot with who you have. You know what I mean? By the way, Hollywood, pay the writers. Pay your writers. There's no content without writers. This business about AI is going to write scripts and whatnot. No, it's not. No, it's not. Stop it. It's not going to happen. It won't happen. It can happen. It's dumb. Okay? Have you worked with AI and played with it? AI is not writing a script. There's no replacing the human touch. Nothing replaces human touch. Understand that. It's not going to work. Pay the writers. Okay? Pay them. Jeff, watching on YouTube, says, before Roman created the bloodline, the crowd would just be Roman Reigns for no reason. Not for no reason, Jeffrey. They couldn't stand him. Want to know why? Because every week it was a Roman Reigns show, and they didn't like that. Remember the years when the Daniel Bryan thing was happening again, and they wanted Daniel and they got Roman instead, and it was all this hoo-ha nonsense, and Batista came back and they wanted Daniel instead. And, it's just Roman, through no fault of his own, became the most hated guy in the company for just doing his job and for doing it pretty good. Now he does it well. He didn't do it too great at one point, and he did okay at some points. Now he's doing his job really well. Right? He's their guy. He's their guy, man. Says Bad News Brown, Brooklyn, and D'Lo Brown. Nice. 2 Browns for the price of 1. Can I see Cole turning on Strong and going full heel? With MJF, though, Cole's such a great heel. I kind of feel like MJF would diminish him somewhat. And plus, he wants that belt. I wouldn't do it, but maybe they'll do it. I don't know. Chris says, I agree with you, but you could just not do that. Oh, you talking about Swerve and I'm sorry, I ranted and lost my place. Yeah, well, that's true, I guess. But, listen, you put Nick Wayne in the ring. His first match on live TV was someone he's comfortable with who can give him a good match and make him look good. You don't necessarily put him in there with Ricky Starks. And I love Ricky, don't get me wrong. But you get him in there with somebody that he's comfortable with and familiar with. And, each guy knows what the other guy likes to do, and it's easy match. Pressure, but easy, right? We already got you, Jeff. Am I going to next? I never got tickets for it, Tim. I'm sure they're probably still available, but we'll see. We'll see. I never got any. Jeff said, I'd rather have Roman Reigns than Daniel Bryan. Really? Well, to each his own. Ash says the Usos have been amazing for years. Agreed. And are finally getting the love they deserve. They're hot right now, and I'm here for it. Agreed on all that. As long as they stay, out of trouble. We went through and all of it happened before, man. Like, I'm not going to hold anyone's pass against them, but as long as everybody's good, I'm good. Renato Ramirez Rodriguez. What's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a while, man. Why should Nick Wayne beat Swerve? Crazy Brother and Adam Cole's King. I mean, he could have. He could have. I don't know if anybody lost a lot of sleep over it, but I guarantee you a lot of people would have been upset. A lot of people would have been upset. Jeff says we'll turn on Cole because MJF doesn't want Cole coming. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think MJF's going to have an opportunity. Have an opportunity to turn on him. I just don't think so. I think Cole's gonna cross him before MJF double crosses him. That makes sense. Renato says, would you put the belts back? Not right now. No, I wouldn't, because the Usos are over his faces, but Sammy and Kevin are faces as well. And I wouldn't mess with that right now for sure. Will, what's up, dude? Yeah, man, we're doing good, man. I hope you are. 2 minutes left, kids, before we take this little ditty of a podcast home. This has been episode number 315 of Tom Clark's Main Event. Do not forget to subscribe today to Tom Clark's 6M podcast and to Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. 3 in the chamber, baby. Actually, 2 are live, and I got 1 in the chamber, and that's the Two Nations. So be on the lookout for that. The Two Nations pod is coming in approximately a month's time from now. Bam. Can't wait to get that sucker going. Can't wait to get that sucker going. In the meantime, you can subscribe to the show you're watching and listening to right now. And you can also subscribe to the 6M podcast. That would be wonderful if you would do so. And again, it puts no money in my pocket, I assure you. However, it would mean loads to me. I always like another subscriber who downloads and enjoys the show. I love feedback. Ash will tell you she had fun. Ray will have fun when we do the Luke Cage episode too, I promise you. Hoy. This episode's just wrought with silences because I'm all verklempt over here. Hoy. Ray says, can I see Drew when I see belt? I mean, I'll be straight with you. Gunther. That dude's going to have that belt. I mean, they're having a competition with him and Roman, I think. Chad. I would like to go see the new Mission Impossible movie. They're up to like 14 now, right? I haven't seen the other 12. No, I've seen, saw this one, didn't see it. Saw, like hop, skip, and jump. I did say yesterday, I told somebody I would like to take like an entire Saturday and just binge the entire run of movies. I think that'd be fun. That'd be a lot. What would that be? What number are we up to now? Is it 7? Is it 7? Someone tell me. Is it Mission Impossible 7? Because if it is, that's like over 12 hours of films, if that's right. Is it 7? Small piece of gin. Does that work, or is that like an old wives' tale, Ray? Is that true? Oh, this is not fun. This sucks. What you got to do is feed a cold. I'm going to go home and have a gigantic sub sandwich. I'm just kidding. I'll go home and have something. Wait and see. Just you wait and see. What number is the Mission Impossible movie? Tim, I think you've asked me this question before about the 92 Dream Team. I have not, no. We don't do a lot of basketball in the 6M because it's not sports. I mean, we did the Jordan's Bulls because it was the what is it? The Last Dance, right? A series on ESPN. So that was a mini series, and we did Allen Iverson because he's a figure. He's a notable figure. And technically, that didn't even. We also done Mike Tyson. We've done a little bit of sports here and there, but not a lot. It's just not a sports podcast. 7. Thank you, Jeff. And Ray. No news on Colorado. They showed him in that flashback or that moment of talking to Adam. I think he'll be back. Ooh, he could be back anytime. That could be what happens with the Colin MJF thing. I don't know. Yeah, 7 films, which means there's 12 hours worth or better, probably more of the other 6 films. Whew, that's a lot of watching. I'd be here for it. I'm gonna tell you something. All that wackadoodle, Scientology, voodoo, black magic, hoodoo, juju stuff that Tom Cruise has going on, that stuff's keeping him young, dude. I ain't kidding you. You kidding me? He looks great. He done found the fountain of youth and he ain't sharing, right? Hey, man, I'm just saying. Hoy. Well, guess what, kids? The comments, they be slowing down. So it is my time to retire. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. I very much appreciate you. I'm getting ready to go say hello to a friend of mine and see how that person's doing. Good to see everybody here this week. Again, apologies for not being here next week. Tune in. We should be here next week. I don't foresee any problems. If anything comes up, I will definitely let you know, as always. Thanks again, kids. You guys are the best of all time. I very much appreciate you hanging out with us this week. Do me a favor. Have a great weekend. Okay? And we will see you next week. Again, subscribe to the Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast. And please also subscribe to Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Follow all 3 shows on all the social platforms. You'll find us. You can't miss us. Follow all of us on all of the accounts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I would very much appreciate you. You guys are the best. I appreciate you very much. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you next time, kids. Good night, Facebook.